Your friend Manveer Singh Kohli, और जैसे इसके पहले मैं बात कर रहा था तौफीक अहमद से, and Taufeeq is in the studio and he has been able to drag Luke Baweja into the studio. To Luke, welcome to this madness here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you can come closer to the mic.
Oh, absolutely.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, no.
It won't bite you. So, Taufeeq and Luke, आप दोनों you guys are working on a production, a play.
Yes.
Yeah, The Drowsy Chaperone.
True.
Correct. Yeah.
So a brief introduction about Luke. Luke is a 25-year-old young, should I say budding actor, or have you?
Established, I would say. I've seen him performing, so there's no way he's a budding actor. He's a refined and refreshed actor.
Okay,
That is very kind.
So that's fantastic. And you've been performing since 2006.
Yeah, really, yeah.
And so let's talk about your lineage, if you don't mind. Your
No, of course.
Heritage, yeah. So tell us about Luke Baweja. That's a fairly different kind of name.
It's a strange combination. If you throw my middle name into that, Alessandro as well. Then
Alessandro?
So I am Italian and Indian descent. My dad was born in Shimla, and my mum was born in Grotteria in southern Italy.
There you go.
And they met in Australia.
They met in Australia?
They met in Australia. So I am first generation Australian.
And have you been to Shimla?
I have, yes, actually.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful part of the world. I really enjoyed it. I went in 2013, sort of like a celebration, because my nani, to explain my dad's heritage, my nani and da moved to Africa for a while, and then they went to England, and then they went to Australia. But
your nani as in your mum's?
Dad's.
Sorry,
Dadi.
My daddy, yes. She...
Get your Hindi right.
That was actually... I realised that's actually a bit of a challenge, because she didn't like her dadi, so she never wanted to be referred to as a dadi. But she
that's
loved
interesting.
Her
Now
nani.
you see. Now see the beans are coming out.
Yeah, well, exactly. Because none of the grandkids really spoke Hindi, she was just like nani, and then we just all went, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Fair enough. That makes perfect sense.
But she hadn't been back to India in over 25 years to see her family, and so an opportunity arose in 2013, and I got to go and sort of meet everyone for the first time, which is wonderful.
So what did you do in Shimla?
Basically, did a bit of a tour around, got to see where my dad was born, where he grew up. He was only there until he was about 2 years old, so he doesn't have that many memories, but it was a lot of a nice sort of walking down memory lane with her, just going, Shimla remember this. It's such a beautiful part of the world. I really love it.
I love Shimla. I've been there a number of times.
Yeah.
And I watched it go down the hill. I mean, no pun intended. But what a place it used to be. Now there's water shortages and all that, but still you cannot take the beauty out of that place.
No, it will forever and always be just absolutely stunning. The place we were staying at overlooked just a completely untouched part of the forest, and it was just the most breathtaking scenery. Yeah.
All right. So tell me about your drama scene. And so you're mixed heritage. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And Luke Baweja. Yeah. All right. Chalega. Yeah.
Makes sense.
That is so poetic.
So and you've been performing since 2006.
Yes.
Yeah. So you were what, 11 at the time?
12 at the time. So
school.
Yes, school. Yeah, primary school. I was in a production called The Adventures of Snugglepot and Cuddlepie for the 2006 Sydney Festival. So I did that show with Belvoir Street Theatre. So I got to work with quite a few people. Simon from Play School was in the production. So I got to meet him, it was a wonderful way to kickstart the theatre passion, like starting at the very top of what it could be. And basically just sort of continued on. I did drama in high school. I've got quite a few musicals, I think about 9 or 10 to date, if I had to put a figure next to that. Been in a couple of plays as well. And throughout uni, I was part of the Theatre and Film Society and was on an executive position that looked after it as well during that time too. So really is one of my greatest passions. I really love doing it.
So you are in that... enviable position, I should say, where you've got Indian heritage.
Yes. Yeah.
But because of your Italianness and because of your being born here, do you face the same challenges that, say, Taufeeq would face with his Indian accent and Indian face in theatre here?
I think there's merits and also some sort of challenges to it as well. I think I've been very, very fortunate enough that the roles that most musicals and most plays have aren't particularly pertaining to specific sort of racial stereotypes or anything like that. And a lot of the people that I've been working with or have worked with have been very flexible in their outlook and vision and haven't really taken into account that kind of thing when they're casting. In terms of accents, I think accents, everyone has a challenge regardless of what accent you're born with, because sometimes you'll throw in a spanner and be like, hey, do a German accent now, and you'll have to sort of go, well, what the hell does that sound like? How does one make that actually realistic? Because that's the other challenge.
Okay, so say, let me put you on the spot.
Oh, good, okay.
Do an Indian accent, come on.
Okay, I'll try and do an Indian accent.
I'll give you a 4 for that.
Yes, I think so.
Out of 5, I should say. But that said, Manmeer, I must say that as much as it could be a perceived challenge, Sydney is fortunately opening up a lot for diverse cast. As a matter of fact, we've got organizations and associations who are coming up solely for that purpose. And one of the great things that I experienced with Not Show was that, and the role that we both are playing technically could be played by anybody.
So what's your role in the Drowsy Chaperone?
I play more like a cameo. It's more like, जैसे हम हिंदी में कहते हैं ना, आके रायता फैला देता है. तो मेरा वो काम है. I just come and spoil the continuity of the play. That's essentially what my job is there.
It's memorable, to say the least.
But that said, while I do that, when Adolfo enters the play, he ends up taking the play at a very different energy level. I mean, everyone's so energetic in that play. Everyone's coming with a bang in, and that's how the directors beautifully introduced everybody in the play. When Adolfo, which Luke is playing, he just takes that play to a different level. And yeah, I asked you to ask him a question.
What's it for? No.
Adolfo.
Oh. Yeah, go on. You ask him the question.
All right. So, who is Adolfo?
Who is Adolfo? Oh goodness, where do you start on this one?
Please like Adolfo. Yeah, I love Adolfo, especially when you do it.
Adolfo is, I think, one of my favorite characters I've ever had to play. He is technically Spanish, but the accent is pertaining to more of a European background, Latin Lothario. So his role in the show is basically to ruin a wedding by sleeping with the bride. Now, it's a very linear and very clear goal, and you would imagine someone with any sort of intellect would just be able to follow through and be, that's that. But Adolfo is particularly wrapped in his own sort of self-world of like egotism and just like, hearing what other people say. So he goes on quite the adventure, to say the least.
So I must say, I actually asked Kelly Horrigan, the director, and that if I can ask Luke to do a bit of Adolfo on session. and she was more than happy and forthcoming with it. It's like, yes, please go ahead. Don't do the whole show around Adolfo, but please make Adolfo do some of Adolfo.
Yes.
So one of the memorable lines that you...
One of the memorable... there is one, but I'm going to save that for the show. But I'm going to... There's a little sort of speech that he says along the lines of... No. You must remember my name. For when we are making love and you are screaming, you must say the right name or it will spoil everything. Yeah.
I want to see this play.
Now you can only imagine where this goes from there. And what Luke has just mentioned about this moment in the play actually is a turning point, in a way.
Yes, it is.
For how the whole play turns. It's about how badly things can go wrong and how badly, things can come back again to be right, and that's a happy ending. And that's how musicals are, essentially. How the man in the chair, the lead Dave Virayo, says that everything falls into place.
All right, let's break into a song. Yeah. And then we'll come back to this. So listeners can go and make a cup of tea and get ready.
Absolutely. Enjoy a cup of tea, listeners.
Yeah. So दोस्तों आप सुन रहे हैं कहते सुनते with मनबीर, तौफीक and Luke. और ये कार्यक्रम हर थर्सडे को आता है 8 से लेकर 10 बजे तक रात में, जब भी आप अपने दिन की सारे ज़रूरी काम करके ख़त्म कर चुके होते हैं. यू आर वेटिंग टू रिटायर. आराम से बिस्तर में पड़े आप ये कार्यक्रम सुन सकते हैं. या फेसबुक वगैरह छोड़िए, कार्यक्रम सुनिए. तो ये मेरा आपसे सजेशन है. आपको ये गीत सुनाता हूँ. फिल्म नहीं है, हवा बन के बाय दर्शन रवाल. तो आज स्टूडियो में थोड़ी खलबली और हलचल मची हुई है क्योंकि मेरे साथ है तौफीक और लूक बवेजा. एंड लूक इज an accomplished actor. Is that what you're saying?
He is.
Tawfiq?
He is.
I haven't. Yeah.
Definitely.
So after watching his little performance there,
I have the I mean, I will be amongst one of those fortunate people who will watch Luke be playing Adolfo, his character, more than anybody else, because I get to watch him doing it at rehearsals almost thrice a week.
And you enjoy the rehearsal.
And I have never seen him going down on the energy bit, even on those days when he's not keeping well. And I'm sorry, I'm bringing your health into this conversation.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, the amount of passion that Luke, along with the other cast, obviously, and I'm picking on Luke because he's here with me on the studio, that doesn't discount what the others are doing. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fantastic experience working with these guys.
So Luke, all right. So
yes.
You're doing all this. You're young, and your energy is fantastic, as I can see. And Taufeeq is also about saving for that. So tell me, what's ahead? What's going to happen? Are we going to see Luke on Neighbours? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe now's the time for something like that to happen. Who knows? I always like to keep my future as just like a blank slate, you know. Obviously have some, you know, plans here or there, but just take opportunities as they come. This opportunity actually came about from one of our cast members, Michael, who's one of my great friends. He was just auditioning, and then 2 days before the audition said, do you want to come? And I went, yeah, all right, let's do it. And that's how I ended up in this one. So maybe I will actively seek out some more roles, see what's out there. I have plans to sort of do some auditions for musicals that are happening next year as well. So that's very exciting. So yeah.
So Hindi play. How about we get you into a Hindi play?
Hey, look, I'll happily go to Bollywood. You know? Happily.
I must say, a very dear friend of mine who's born here has actually ended up going in Bollywood, and he's doing pretty all right.
No
His
way.
name is Akshat Gupta.
Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you more about him.
Absolutely.
Day. Saying that, yes, I mean, it's an interesting question that Manveer Bhai asked. Is that if you were to be approached by a South Asian theatre company, right? And there are quite a few good ones for that matter, who I've had the fortune to work with. So if they come in, what would you say yes and what would you say no to in terms of the language barriers, in terms of the character understanding, in terms of understanding the Indian emotions, which are very different from what a Western emotion would be?
100%. I think the greatest thing in being exposed to a lot of theatre and acting is that I'm willing to take challenges head on. And I think the greatest challenge that I would face would very much be the language barrier. I have studied languages before, but they've always been European. I've never really studied anything from like a Sanskrit-based, sort of like a South Asian language. So that would probably be the most challenging, but that wouldn't stop me from, like, you know, taking roles. And I think there's so much culture and so much sort of so many stories to be told out there. It doesn't matter from where you're coming from in the world. It's just a privilege to be able to engage in those stories.
So are you connected to the Indian culture at all? Do you know any festivals based there?
The only festival that I've been actively part of with my family is Diwali. That's the big one. It's always been nice because it's brought where my dad's side of the family lives quite differently areas in Sydney. So it's the one occasion we can actually all set time aside and, you know, come together and actually enjoy each other's company. So yeah.
Okay, and tell me about this play. So the Drowsy Chaperone.
Yes.
Yeah. When is it happening? Where is it happening?
So it'll
Who
be...
is it happening to?
Who's it happening to? Everyone, hopefully. So the Drowsy Chaperone will be on in September, early September, and it will be showing at the Zenith Theatre in Chatswood, and it'll be going for about 2 weeks.
Starting on the
8
5th
shows.
of September,
And,
that is
yeah.
today.
Yeah, and what's the duration of the play? How long?
8 shows between the 6th and the 15th of September.
Okay, fantastic. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
are you, aren't you?
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Taufeeq
giving
is-
me the jitters because I'm in a musical while I don't know to sing or dance, so you can figure that out.
You can't tell.
So maybe you're the contrast there.
Yeah, I'm the comic relief of a comedy musical. Now go figure what that means.
Non-stop laughs at all levels.
Yeah. So yeah, look, maybe next time we talk to you, say after a year or so, you might be hard to get. So I know.
I'm taking his autograph right now.
Yeah. Look, all the best, Luke, for this.
Thank you so much. And
Thank you for
so much
joining
for
in,
having
Luke.
me
And
on.
I
hope
know
you enjoyed
you've
it.
traveled a long way to come here,
That's
and
all
you'll be
right.
going back even longer way to go.
That's all right.
But yeah, I couldn't have thanked you more.
No, thank you
despite
so
the fact that
much.
you've been putting not at the best of the health. You've been giving your 100% at the rehearsals, and you've been giving 100% here
All right.
today as well. So thank you so much for joining us. I
No
really
worries. Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much, guys. I really
Take care.
enjoyed
I
it.
hope you enjoyed yourself today. Yeah.
And
Yes,
I hope
absolutely.
our audiences enjoy watching you on stage as Adolfo the Loverboy.
Thank you, everyone.
What happened here?
I'm not looking at that camera. I'm not worried about the B-roll.
Awesome.
Was
Alrighty,
it?
that was fantastic. Thank you
Thanks,
so
man.
much.
Thanks for coming all the
No,
way.
thank you. It was lovely to be